Hello everybody, I would like to welcome you on behalf of Dabimi Talks as we continue our discussion on the FDI series. I'm Charlene Eich, a manager in business development, and I'm joined today by Isabella Shadowska, who is a partner in our corporate structuring team. For everyone's benefit, Isabella has got more than 20 years experience dealing with UAE regional and local matters. Isabella specialises in corporate and commercial work, particularly in the foreign investment regime, cross-border corporate and regulatory structuring design and implementation. Thank you very much for joining us today, Isabella.
Pleasure to be here.
In this video, we're going to discuss the authorities in the UAE and as they continue to impress by offering new options of business setups and opening up another sector for foreign investment. Isabella, as an expert in structuring corporate groups as well as family business operations, what are the key areas you've seen expanding lately?
Well, I've seen a very significant boost in inquiries about holding companies, proprietary investment vehicles, and family offices, different types of solutions for families. And, I would consider that to be actually a result probably of the COVID pandemic. I think a number of family businesses would get together, family members would sit, see how their wealth is structured. The same is probably true for a number of individuals who own assets around the world and for corporate groups that own assets. I believe that really COVID was that triggering factor because we had time to slow down, to sit down, make an assessment rather than really, following the regular run that we're in on a daily basis. And there is really a very clear boost in inquiries and also, of course, an implementation of structures for proprietary investment holding, but for families locally, regionally, and around the world as well.
Mm-hmm. And you would have been close to that, those discussions. For the holding and proprietary investment entity formation, which UAE options do clients consider more frequently and why?
Well, for proprietary investment, Abu Dhabi Global Market and the Dubai International Financial Center really, I think, have been the leading offerings especially for international clients. Mm-hmm. Both ADGM and the DIFC offer common law solutions, legal system that international groups and companies are really used to dealing with. Dubai World Trade Center has been also a very appealing option for clients internationally, but locally and from the region as well, closer to the region. But again, for proprietary investment, very straightforward incorporation requirements, really a nice way of forming a structure for holding of those different classes of assets.
Indeed. So how about the family office options? What does the UAE offer?
Well, the UAE offers, in fact, really a number of options. And funnily enough, clients years ago, they would have discussions with us and say, well, there are holding solutions, there is proprietary investment, anything that is specific for families. Mm-hmm. And some families, interestingly enough, when they go through their structure, they like the fact that on some of the operating licenses of businesses that they have, there is even a TAM family office, single family office. They feel that there is that attachment that they can create to the business. The UAE over the years then established a number of different solutions. The DIFC were the first ones to come up with the single family office regime under separate single family office regulations. That was a few years ago already. And there are families that have been successfully operating under that model. Abu Dhabi Global Market has single families operations under their licenses as well. Dubai World Trade Center, interestingly, took the approach of offering to clients two different solutions. I think that has been a hit on the market and a little bit of a revolutionary approach because the World Trade Center are offering single family office, similarly to what some of the other free zones are doing, including the DMCC. But also not that long ago, the World Trade Center introduced multi-family office solution. And then the question, that one can ask is really, what would that multifamily office solution be? Who does it target? Well, the single family office, of course, is for one family with a number of different people related to that family going back to the same ancestor. But the multifamily office is more of an advisory type of operation, where those who are involved in supporting family businesses would like to offer advisory and consultancy services to more than one family. Again, one thing to really keep in mind, and I would like our audience to be aware of, is whenever the advisory firm were to be involved in providing financial services, holding funds of clients other than those funds that have been passed on to that advisory firm, really in consideration for their advisory services, they need to make sure that their operation does not fall under the financial regulatory regime. That's, of course, something to keep in mind. But advisory firms have been able, under that license, to advise more than one family, concierge services, acting as an intermediary between, for example, securities trading houses, some of the cryptocurrency houses, where they are more of an intermediary lead than really the professional services provider in that context. And that has been a very good offering. There are more than that. And the final point I would like to touch upon is that for family offices, it's not only the entities that have a license as a single family office that they can consider, really proprietary investment vehicles, holding companies. Those types of entities are very well suited for family businesses around the world to hold different classes of assets, to organize them well, to plan for inheritance, because of course that passing on of their wealth is a very important consideration.
Of course. Well, on that note, Isabella, thank you very much. This is another example of why we're running this series in FDI, and we will continue this discussion in future episodes. Thank you very much for your time, Isabella.
Thank you.
And hope to see you again soon.